Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. I was recently at my local cigar shop, which is one of the, say what you will about cigars and tobacco, but they are the final bastion of a place where men can just hang out and talk and bullshit and well, quite frankly, not have to worry about the company of a woman. And we were talking about politics and religion, and it was getting pretty deep. And finally, I mean, it ranged from libertarianism. I chimed in on libertarianism and said, guys, I have a question for you libertarians. If you assess this COVID situation and you look at the sheep and the masses who have bent the bended knee to whatever organization is in power, whatever main thing is in power, you look at them and you see how much they followed orders, followed directions of the elite. And the question is, how in what world do you think it's possible for these humans to be capable enough to basically govern themselves? Because that is the core of libertarianism. The core of libertarianism is believing that humans can govern themselves, can take care of themselves. They don't need a moral authority to tell them how to do certain things, how to live their lives and things like that. But of course, you look at the reaction from the masses when it comes to COVID, and you say to yourself, no, it's only a select few of us who can truly live on our own, regardless of whatever power is in power. And I went on further, and I said, how would you? Because the guy responded back, well, we would just force them to live in the libertarian society. That's what we would do. And I said, well, what about the non-aggression principle? That is like the major thing of libertarianism, is the non-aggression principle. And he said, fuck the non-aggression principle. And, at that point, that guy was just being totally inconsistent. But the point is that we were having tons of great discussions. And the main point of this video that I'm diving into this is not a critique of libertarianism. It is to state my opinion and my fear, not fear, but kind of what I would think in the event that Biden wins again. If we don't see a red wave. Now, I believe more or less we have already started to see a red wave from the midterms. The chick won in that district in Texas, which is very, very liberal and has been voting liberal for 100 years. So that was a good sign. But I asked my brothers at the cigar shop, if given how terrible shit is going right now, gas prices in are anywhere from $5 to $7 a gallon. Okay. The stock market, the S&P 500 is totally there. The consumer confidence, because that's really what the stock market is confidence in the economy. That's what it really reflects. And well, quite frankly, the stock market continues to get hit. Now, I would say continue to hold if you have your money in the S&P 500, because generally speaking, over time, it goes upwards. but it is another example of how mismanaged this country really is. And then the other thing, of course, is Afghanistan, Biden's failure there. And, to be fair to Biden, it wasn't just him. I would say Obama and Bush also failed in the Middle East. It was a losing proposition from the beginning, because I forget what show or what movie this was, but it had the guy. The main characters were Leonardo DiCaprio and the guy from The Gladiator. Those were the two main characters, and the crux of the movie basically is Leonardo DiCaprio, who is some government worker who goes to the Middle East and does the bidding of America, and he basically starts to realize that it's all bullshit. But the guy, and then he has a handler who is in DC and is handling Leonardo DiCaprio, and the underlying tone, and then this is also not just reflected in this movie, but it's also reflected in Apocalypse Now, which is ultimately you have to be willing to do whatever it takes in order to win, and if you're not, then it's all pointless anyways. That was the case in Vietnam, that was the case in the Middle East as well. Forget about the questions of should we have been there or not. The point is we weren't willing to do exactly what it took from the very beginning. And I remember in Apocalypse Now, there was the scene where I forget the actor's name, the really the antagonist, the guy that the guy is searching for the whole movie. I'm blanking on his name right now. But he says if he just had 100 soldiers with the mindset and the love of their country and of their mission for America, they would be able to basically win any war, no matter what. And of course, they didn't have it. Apocalypse Now, great movie. And of course, like I said, we saw that reflected in Afghanistan as well. Anyways, I'm getting off on tangents here, but you have Afghanistan, then you have Ukraine, where basically from the top down, there is not a unified thought process. You basically have those who are using the Ukraine situation as a way to steer their ideology into existence and to keep it as some power grab. And so you have all these things that, gas prices high, the stock market, inflation, Afghanistan, just every which way you turn, it's you see failure. And then not only that, but the buffoon Biden literally is babbling in each one of his speeches that he does. He can barely form a coherent thought. Even if it is teleprompted for him, he can barely string together one legitimate, coherent sentence. And you look at all this and you ask yourself, or you think to yourself, this is the worst it can get, right? Right? And you take it a step further and you say to yourself, man, the other side has got to see this. And hopefully they do see this. And one would also hope that, given the fact that hopefully they see this, they will make the right choice and not vote along party lines, because that would be evil. If you see this garbage, regardless of what side you're on, you cannot continue to advocate for this nonsense, for this garbage, because that would be evil. I've totally forgot. You have the COVID mismanagement, the vaccine mismanagement. Again, every which way you turn, everything is terrible. It is being totally run absolutely incompetently. And you think to yourself again, and I already said this, it can't get any worse. And given the fact that it can't get any worse, one would think mass homelessness as well, there's no way he has a chance of winning, right? Right? And then you think to yourself, no, that's not true. He does have a chance of winning. Even if, regardless of what you think of the election results, which, you know, I think you guys know where I stand on that. Still, there were thousands of legitimate people who voted for this fucking buffoon, And you think to yourself, that fuck, they might do it again. They might actually do it again. And that means that regardless of how bad it gets, they may still vote for these yahoos, for these morons, for these clownish goofballs who, in every logical sense, are living a lie. Everything that they put out there defies logic. It defies what we have known to be correct for thousands of years. And the scary thing about it is Biden, he still might win again. And the liberals still might win again, regardless of how bad things go or get. And they're pretty bad right now, And so the last thought I have before I play this clip of Biden falling off his bike is, if that's the case, then you know what? This country deserves to fail. Because if things can get this bad and a majority of your people cannot make the right choice in how to fix it, then it deserves to fail. It deserves to fail. So, you know, I perish the thought, but the reality is it is very possible that Biden wins again, or some liberal wins again. And that's a very scary thought, because things are as bad as they have ever been. It's like the gas situation, where basically you have the correct among us who look at that and they say, okay, well, you decided to take a righteous stance against Russia. Therefore, you need to have pipelines and access to oil in your own country. You need to have a secondary resource to help your people, the people in your own country. And the answer is no, we don't. We have zero pipelines. We have almost zero manufacturing. There are shortages everywhere. And so not only are they taking a righteous stance, but they're showing a total disregard for the American citizens. They don't give a fuck about the American citizens. And given that fact, it makes it even more scary that Biden still might win. Still. Okay. All right. Enough of me rambling on this. Let's watch this. This is Memeology 101. Hopefully he doesn't copyright me. But I love his channel. This channel is phenomenal. It really, really is. Okay, let's watch this. You know what? Let's pause it real quick. I mean, everything about it is just a joke. I mean, the aviators that Biden wears, aviators are for the select few among us who are actual badass men. Okay. yes, Biden has a lot of power, but I don't think anyone would mistake him for a badass dude. Okay. He is a guy who has power because of how weak he is, because of how uh puppety he is from his handlers. You know, his handlers look at a guy like him and say, oh, ooh, we can put him anywhere we want and we will be able to, he will do anything we tell him to do. All right, let's keep watching this. In other words, what the fuck are you doing wearing aviators, Biden? Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You can't make this stuff up. Man, this guy is a total buffoon. I can't believe this guy is the leader. He is the leader of fucking the United States of America. It's sad yet funny. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. At the very least, like, comment, share. You know the drill. Life is a Chad. I will see you goofballs later. DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. And facts are feelings because your feelings just don't matter. See you guys next time. Bye.